Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing amazing. So welcome all of you at AriserTalent, and we were on the first chapter of the class 10th chemistry, that is about the chemical reactions and equation. And in our last lecture, we have a discussion about the limitations and we have discussed a lot of things about the chemical equation. Now we are going to discuss about the you can see that the very important or the very major topic of this chapter, that is about the balancing of chemical equation. So equation balancing is an important concept, and definitely a question is going to be asked in your exam regarding the balancing of the chemical equation. So today we are going to learn about the basic rules which is employed in the balancing of the equation, and we will try to balance more and more equations as possible. Clear? So let's begin our topic with balancing of chemical equations. The first thing, the balancing of the chemical equation means making the number of atoms, elements equal on the both of the sides of the reactant and product. So the balancing of the chemical equation actually is following the law of conservation of the mass. You have to keep the mass same on both the side of the reactant and product. Okay, so balancing of the chemical equation actually means making the number of atoms, number of elements or the total mass on both the sides equal, and it is going to follow the law of conservation of the mass. So if you are going to equate the masses on both sides, sometimes it is also known as the mass balancing. Okay, so what is balancing of chemical equation? The process of making number of atoms, elements and masses equal on both sides of reactants and products is called balancing. So this is what actually the balancing is, and balancing is going to follow the law of conservation of mass. So the second thing is it follows law of conservation of mass. Clear? And if we are going to equate the masses on the both sides, sometimes it is also known as mass balancing. So this is known as the mass balancing. Now we will discuss some rules that you have to apply for balancing the chemical equation, and you have to keep these rules in your mind so you can equate the equation very easily. So first thing is, write the word equation for any of the equation given to you. So if you write word equation, then convert it into the symbol equation, and do not try to change the formula of any compound. It is the first and foremost rule that while writing any chemical equation, you do not have to change the formula of the compound. The formula will remain fixed. And the last point is, make the equation very easy, that it will give the complete information about that reaction to a person who is learning or reading that statement. Clear? So what we will do in step 1, the first rule is write the word equation. The rule number 1 is write the word equation. The second rule is write the symbol equation. The rule number 3 is after writing the symbol equation, try to equate the number of atoms of elements equal on both the side of reactant and product. So, equate number of atoms on both sides. In both the sides, that is the reactant side and the product side, you have to equate the number of atoms that is present here. Clear? Now the rule number 4 is equate masses on both sides. If we are equating the number of atoms, the next rule is we have to equate the masses on both sides, that the total mass of reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product, that it is must follow the law of conservation of the mass. The rule number 5 is do not try to change the formula of a compound. The formula of a compound is going to remain fixed. Clear? So the rule number 5 is do not change the formula of compound. Do not change the formula of a compound. And lastly, you have to see that the complete equation is balanced or not by equating all the coefficients that you are using in reactant and product. So the coefficient of reactant and product must be equal on both sides, and coefficients we are equating, we multiply them by the suitable number for balancing them. You can understand these rules only by the help of the example that I am considering here. So let us take an example and try to equate or try to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so let us take an example here. So the example we are taking is the reaction between zinc and sulfuric acid. Clear? So it is a reaction between zinc and sulfuric acid. So reaction between zinc and sulfuric acid can be written as, firstly we will write the rule number 1, that is the word equation of a given equation. So the word equation will be, according to the rule number 1, is zinc plus sulfuric acid gives you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. It will give you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Clear? So this is the word equation. Now convert this word equation into the symbolic form. So what you have to do, you have to write the reactants on the left hand side, you have to write the products in the right hand side, and this must be indicated by the single arrow pointing from left to right. If the reaction is reversible reaction, you will put the two arrowheads, one pointing from left to right and other is pointing from right to left. But this equation is not a reversible one, as it is an irreversible reaction. I am putting a simply one arrowhead. Clear? Now apply the rule number 2. write the symbol equation for this statement. So this is our rule number 1, and according to the rule number 2, the symbol equation for the statement will be zinc is Zn, sulfuric acid is H2SO4, and it is going to give you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. This is what we are getting here. Now, the rule number 3 is you have to equate the coefficient of all the atoms participated in this reaction. So, I am considering all the atoms one by one and trying to equate them. Okay. So, I am just removing this part from here so we can write here. So just draw a simple table to equate the number of atoms here. So in this table, firstly, we are taking the elements here. Then in this table, we will take the atoms in LHS, that is on the reactant side. And here we will take the atoms in RHS, that is in the product side. Clear? So how many elements are involved in this reaction? You can see here it is zinc, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. I have 4 elements that is involved in this reaction. Clear? So the first element is zinc here, second element is hydrogen here, third element is sulfur here, and the fourth element I have is oxygen here. Okay, these are the 4 elements that is participating in this reaction. Now, if I am going to equate the left hand side and right hand side of the equation, let's see here, zinc here is 1 and zinc in the RHS side is also 1. So, I can say that the zinc is balanced here. So, I can write here zinc 1 and zinc 1 on both the sides. Now, count the number of hydrogen atoms. H2, it means there are 2 atoms of hydrogen. Similarly, H2, again we have the 2 atoms of hydrogen here. So, I can write hydrogen 2 and hydrogen 2. Now, count the sulfur atoms in the following reaction. How many sulfurs are there? There is only 1 sulfur. 1 sulfur and 1 sulfur in the product side. So, the sulfur is 1 and 1. Clear? Oxygen atoms. There are 4 oxygen atoms in this reaction. And you can see that there is also a 4 oxygen atom in this reaction. So, I can write here 4 and 4. Clear? So, you can see here this table is completely matched here. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 1 and 1 and 4 and 4. So, I do not need to balance this equation. This is our complete balanced reaction or equation we are provided with. So, I can say that zinc plus Zn plus H2SO4 gives me ZnSO4 plus H2. This is our complete balanced equation. So, this is what? This is our balanced equation. If you will find the mass on both the side of the reactant and product, you will find that it will follow the law of conservation of the mass definitely. Clear? So, this is the example which is showing that how the balancing of the chemical equation is done. We will do one more example, but before that just copy this part from here. Now, the second example we have is reaction between iron and water. So the example number 2 is reaction between iron and water. If iron is going to react with water, it will either give you iron second oxide or it will give you iron third oxide depending upon the number of water molecules taking part in the reaction. Clear? So for the rule number 1, what we have to do, we have to write the word equation for this. So the word equation will be iron is reacting with water, and whenever iron is going to react with water, it will give you iron second and third oxide along with the hydrogen gas. Clear? So this is what the word equation is signifying here. Now let us write the symbol equation for such kind of the reaction. So the symbol equation will be iron is Fe and water is H2O. This is the formula here. So what I will get here? I will get here Fe3O4 plus H2. So this is the word equation, this is the symbol equation for the given word equation. Now what we have to do? We have to equate the coefficients of number of atoms that is present in the reactant and product side. So for this, again we will consider a simple table, and firstly we will write the elements that is participating in the reaction. So let us see that elements here are iron, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so I am writing here 1, 2, 3 and the elements are Fe, hydrogen and oxygen. Now firstly, let us count the number of oxygen atoms taking part in the reaction. Firstly, we will count the oxygen atoms. So you can see that there is 1 oxygen atom and there is 4 oxygen atom. There is 4 and there is only 1 oxygen atom. So if you want to balance the number of oxygen atom, we have to put coefficient 4 here. We have to put 4 coefficient here for balancing this. Now let us see iron. Iron is 1 here, and you can see that in the right hand side you have the 3 iron atoms. So there is 3 and there is 1. So I have to put 3 here for balancing the iron atoms. Now let us take the hydrogen atoms. If I am going to compare the hydrogen atoms, it is 2 here and it is 2 here. So hydrogen atoms are somewhat balanced. Now we are going to balance this equation. So let us start with our first element, that is iron. You can see that there is Fe3. Okay, so if there is Fe3, I have to put 3 here. So you can see that Fe is 1 here and Fe is 3 here. Hydrogen is 2 and hydrogen again here is 2, and oxygen is 1 here and oxygen is 4 here. Now firstly we will equate the iron atoms present in this reaction. So what is the equation here? Fe plus H2O gives you Fe3O4 plus H2. Okay, now this is 1 iron here, there is 3 iron atoms here, so I have to substitute 3 here. So I can say that iron is balanced now. Okay, so I am drawing the table again. Here it is element, here it is reactant side, and this is our product side. So here I will write the elements. Elements is Fe, hydrogen and oxygen. This is our reactant side and this is our product side. Now the iron is 3 and here again the iron is 3. So I can write here 3 and 3. So this is correct. Now try to balance the oxygen atoms. You can see that the oxygen atom here is 1 and you can see the oxygen atom here is 4. So if I have to equate the oxygen atom, what I have to do? I have to just substitute 4 over here. Clear? This is 4. So now the 4 oxygen atoms here and 4 oxygen atom here, and again this equation is correct now. This equation is correct now. So oxygen atoms I am shifting from here. if I am writing oxygen atom is 4 and again oxygen atom is 4. So this is our correct one. Now let us see the hydrogen atoms. You can see that hydrogen here is 2 and now here hydrogen will become 4 into 2. You have to multiply this coefficient with this number. So 4 into 2 gives you 8. Now here the hydrogen is 8 and here the hydrogen is 4. So I have to substitute 4 here for balancing the equation. Now you can see that 4 into 2 8 and again 4 into 2 8. So I can write here the hydrogen atoms are 8 and 8. So again the equation is balanced. So this is how you can balance any chemical equation. So I can say that this is a complete chemical equation. This is our balanced equation. Clear? So this is all about the balancing of chemical equation. You can practice or you can solve the chemical equations by your own, and definitely we will do certain more problems that is related to our NCERT and NTSE level in our next lectures. But before that you have to remember that rule and you have to try the balancing of the equation as your own. Okay, so this lecture is all over for today. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.